Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again, and today we're doing a little something different. I've decided that I wanted to build a base game only home, which is, if you watch my channel regularly, that's not really a thing I usually do just because I like having access to all of the items I possibly can, especially when it comes to cluttering. But I thought a base game home would be really fun today, and I'm not gonna lie, this is actually the second version of this house. I built it once and then I didn't like it, so then I bulldozed it and started over, which, it just happens sometimes. It's just easier to like clean the slate and then start over than it is to try to actually fix what you started with. And we use a lot of these like really warm wood tones here, which I thought ended up being really cute. And we're actually working in Willow Creek here, and this ends up being a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. I almost said apartment. This is obviously not an apartment. This is a home, and it's right next to that like secret tree. I forgot. It takes you to that like really magical pink meadow of some kind. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking as to like what that place is called? Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, let me know and I will look up the actual name of it if you've never heard of that little secret world you can go to by talking to that tree that's like right next door to this house. But I thought this ended up coming out really cute. I struggled a little bit, honestly, to really get it the way I wanted it, but I think it turned out quite nicely. I even included a nice little chimney here, and actually, fun fact, you'll see me add this really cool like planter wall piece here on the front here in a little bit, and I use it again in the house, actually in the bedroom. But when I actually went to upload it to the gallery, I always double check when I do limited pack builds or just base game builds. I double check and make sure that I didn't accidentally use an item from a pack that I wasn't intending to use. And it turns out that particular item was in fact from Seasons, and I was so upset because honestly, I loved it so much and I thought it looked so nice on this build, so I ended up taking it out and swapping it out for some other flowers. And in the case of the bedroom, I ended up putting a picture in there. So don't worry, what is on the gallery is completely base game. So if you notice that I place it, I fix it after I'm done filming. So I don't figure it out until literally later, which is also why I try not to upload stuff to the gallery until I'm done playtesting and all that kind of good stuff, for that very reason. But it just looks so good there, so I was a little sad about that, but it's okay. If you do have Seasons, you can absolutely add it if you would like to, and if you want to download this and change it to your Sims preferences, please feel free to do so. But I really wanted to keep this like a small home, and I wanted an actual proper bedroom, like with walls and everything, instead of doing like a studio. And we end up having this really cute galley kitchen. And I will say, I had such a hard time when I was playtesting this. Like, for some reason, the Sim was giving me such a hard time actually about the fridge. And I don't know why. It actually came down to when I had the Sim go out into the backyard, they kept saying they couldn't go down those stairs, and they kept saying that it was because of the fridge. Like, I don't know why. Like, why would the fridge even be an issue? I ended up deleting it out and then I put it back, and then it wasn't an issue anymore. But I also had a problem with the Sim because then I finally got it to where they would go down the stair, or no, I had to teleport them down the stairs, but then they would walk back up the stairs, but they wouldn't go back down it. So they could go up but not down the stairs. It was a whole entire thing. But don't worry, I got it working, so it on the gallery, shouldn't have any issues with it. But it was just one of those really quirky like Sims things that they were just giving me a really hard time. But I actually end up using the like 1-tile bar that we got for the login rewards. I use that out on the back porch, and I know I'm totally ahead of myself, but be sure to actually, if you didn't know, they are currently running this like login rewards thing for the Sims. So long as you're logging in enough, you can get those items, and there's like more information about it on the actual homepage when you open up the Sims and everything. So be sure to be grabbing those items if you're actually able to. I think you also have to have like a stable internet connection and everything, which I have mixed feelings about the whole login rewards things. I can't remember if I've actually talked about it yet, but I am all for new like free items, base game items. Like, that is amazing, and I will never complain about that. However, I also know that people can't always just log on at particular times, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of us have like things to do and responsibilities, so we play when we can. Or if you're like a lot of Sims players, you obsessively play The Sims for like 3 months and then you stop for like a year and then you come back to it. So I wish they did something maybe more like, I don't know, like if you've had this many babies in the game, then you get this reward, or like it does like counts of stuff that you've done versus like necessarily like a timed login thing. But I don't know. Let me know how you feel in the comments. But I guess that's kind of my opinion, because like I said, I'm all for, you know, better items. And actually, we also use the new trash can as well over in the corner. It is like that like white smart trash can that we have, which, in case you don't know, if you put like stuff in it, like whether your sim puts like dishes or trash or whatever, or you drag stuff into the trash can, it actually gives you money every time. So that's super exciting, especially if you're doing like rags to riches, if you can afford it. I know that it is definitely not a cheap item either. I actually don't know how much the new one is, but I do know the old one is like pretty expensive, but I think pretty worth it, especially if you have enough sims in your house to really make it worthwhile. But I did include here a desk, because I know it's really important for your sims to actually have access to a computer. And like I said, it's been play tested, your sim can get around everywhere. And I will say also, this bathroom definitely gave me a hard time trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to put all these items. But don't worry, I got it working, and your sim can get to everything properly. Again, I had to play test it and kind of squish things around a little bit. Like I had to like put the toilet into the wall just a little bit, that kind of thing, but it does work. And as a reminder, be sure to have bb.move objects on when you download this lot to make sure you don't have any issues with that. And then here in the bedroom, I end up, like I said, I put that little flower wall in here as well, but I do swap it out just for a regular picture after, like when I'm doing some play testing. But I wanted to put a little chair in here and like maybe with some clothes on it, and then just a cute little area for your sim to hang out. I do actually put in a full-length mirror kind of next to that wardrobe, and come to think of it, I didn't test that. Your sim may not be able to use that mirror. However, your sim doesn't really necessarily need that mirror, since there is a mirror in the bathroom they should be able to use, and they have the wardrobe, so you should be able to do everything that you need to do there. And just kind of adding some more like decor pieces in here. I think it turned out pretty well considering it is a base game. I feel like it's a nice little challenge for me to like really try to use base game only, especially now that we have so many packs. And I know that like a lot of the builds I do require like all of them, probably like I'll use like one item, so apologies, but it's just something I enjoy doing. But I do try to like do these from time to time. I actually do have soon there should be a build up on the channel that is just horse ranch and base game. So I have a limited pack build coming up too, and that's like a cute little, I did like a 5x5 home for that, so you know, be on the lookout for that. So that'll be coming up pretty soon, hopefully this week, so long as I can get it edited in time. But I also just use a lot of debug landscaping out here, which you can get to by putting the cheats in, which off the top of my head I do not remember. You'll definitely have to either comment down below and I'll look them up for you, or you can look them up online. But basically it lets you have access to the items that come in just the environment of the world. So like you can see there's some plants around that you don't have access to like normally, but if you have like the debug cheats on, then you can actually get to those items. And there's also the live edit objects cheat as well, so you'll want to put both of those in there. But that also helps if you're trying to do like a cheaper build, because a lot of the stuff's free or close to free, but it also just gives you access to more like more things that you wouldn't have otherwise. So I really like doing that. And as well as I just put this little cute little stone path. Again, that stuff is from debug, so you can make your own little path. Your sim should be able to walk over that and really not have any kind of issues. And then I just kind of put some rocks and all of that kind of good stuff around. And actually, I think this really looks warm and cozy, which I was really excited about, which sometimes like it can be difficult with base game, especially just like trying to make it feel not necessarily like modern, but maybe more up to date, especially since a lot of the base game items we got like close to a decade ago. So things have definitely changed in terms of style. I was hoping to maybe have a different kind of window or some other like ornamental thing to put on the roof there, but unfortunately we just don't have anything, so I just used that like double window, and I think that ended up being pretty cute. And then out here on the patio, I do put a grill, and I also put, like I said, the one tile bar out here, but the sim didn't like it. This sim had a lot of issues with my house, which is fine. It didn't hurt my feelings at all. No, seriously, it's fine. But it did take me a while to fix it, but I ended up having to actually move those plants, and I ended up twisting the bar around to be next to the door, which you'll see what I mean here in a minute. But I do end up moving that around. So if you notice in the screenshots when you download it, it's a little bit different than it is now. It's just because I had to change it due to playtesting issues. And then I do end up putting a chess table and an easel out here, as well as having like 3 different little gardening pots out here as well, so that your sim can have a bunch of skill building stuff that they can do, because I do try to include a lot of that. At least I feel like when I play, like I always have my sims do so many things. Like my poor sims probably like never sleep. Like, let me know what kind of player you are, if you actually do play The Sims or just like build. Like, I really, like, I'm all about my Sims making a bunch of money, and then I just want to build them a nice house. So, like, honestly, building really is my favorite thing to do. But I do end up having them do just a bunch of different hobbies and things. So I just want to be sure to include all of that out here. And then I really am excited about that one tile bar, to be honest, because it's nice to have that, especially, again, for another skill building item. If your Sim is going into the culinary career or the mixology career, like, it's, you know, smaller, you know what I mean? So you don't have to have like a full bar here. And just adding, again, some more flowers and things around, just kind of filling out this space. And honestly, I think it came out super adorable out here. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.
We've been waiting around for too long for something to show. Same old places and faces of people with nowhere to go. But we're not like them, we are better, both you and I know. Grab your car keys and jacket, 'cause honey, we're ready to go. Let's get in the car.